There we go. So, yeah, it's very interesting that you hear a lot of in regards of, oh, we don't want religion in this group and that's this and that, right? You hear that a lot. People pick up really quickly on regards of that's religious and all that, and we don't want that in the group and all that. But interesting enough, they themselves are promoting paganism, and they just don't realize it because it's what people are growing up with, and so they don't realize that they themselves are promoting this bullshit of theirs all the time. But that's okay apparently, because that's so-called science, when it's actually pagan bullshit, and and was long before Darwin made it popular in the West, as it stems from paganism. That would be Satanism. That would be deception, lies, and bullshit, pretty much. But because people, have this idea that, that's nothing to do with religion, then they can, just promote that and do it a lot, without ever thinking about that they promote it. That we came from a man, from a monkey or an ape or whatever, or that, 13.8 billion years ago, nothing exploded and apparently no cause for it, but we see the effect apparently according to, so, that's not scientific, science is cause and effect. So what is the, let's just go with and the thing is that a lot of Christians still believe in evolution, which is again a pagan satanic lie, which is not biblical at all. There's no room for billions of years in the Bible at all. But, even Christians believe evolution and don't, apparently a lot of people or Christians don't see any conflict, or professed Christians, whatever you want to call, whatever. It's up to, in the end, it's up to God to sort that out. But we are warned about wolves in sheep clothing, but in regards of evolution and all that, some professed Christians, don't see any problem in regards of believing in evolution. I think that's utterly bullshit, because I think it's very clear from the scriptures there's no room for that. And of course, some will go into jumping around this thing and make a gap theory, or a day can be millions of years and whatever bullshit. When it's pretty clear from the scripture, 6 days. Why do you think we have a 7-day week? Which of course we have apparently in Denmark, don't know when the last day is, because people believe it's Sunday, which of course is a lie and a deception, and yeah. But anyway, so just making some broccoli, but anyway, because I don't have any more meat, so I had a little broccoli in the freezer. That should be low sugar as well. Now, it's not totally low, but of course, the more I get control of the fungi, the more I can incorporate of things with sugar. It's not like I'm not totally like, eat meat and all that, right? But it absolutely had the best effect in regards of my, downstairs. But anyway, and again, just a little sugar could turn that on in regards of. So, but it was nice to find something that you could actually eat and still get satisfied, and then you could try out things, So that's like a very good foundation. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, so you have Christians saying that, evolution, that's just utter bullshit, because it's bullshit. But the thing is, people grow up with this, and then they just take it like normal, and they go around and promoting this bullshit without realizing that they're actually just, puking all over, and but they don't realize it themselves. But if you talk about anything in regards of the Bible or something like that, they will, oh, that's religious and all that. So what is your thing in regards to your bullshit that you're promoting all the time, and yet but that's science. No, it's not. It's bullshit. But anyway, It's paganism that they have. You see, these paganizers, have put this thing into science, which has nothing to do with science. It is bullshit. Has nothing to do with the truth and nothing to do with science. It's something they believe, 13.8 billion years, right? And then in regards of the sun and the things and all, I can't remember all the numbers, But in any case, that's the thing. When you go from subject to subject and all that, I think it's already like, what was it, like 4 point something billion years ago, and then the Earth was made like 3.8 billion years ago, and then life came. I can't remember all the numbers. Sorry, I'm sorry. I have to refresh the numbers. Again, when you go from one topic to another topic and all that, you tend to forget, things. Whatever the case, it's just, what was it? Yeah, I can't remember. When they thought life became, whatever. But anyway, it just doesn't fit with the Bible, in regards of coming from monkeys and that we're just mammals and all that, we're just animals. It's just stupid, I wonder actually in regards to unclean and clean food. If there's a cow, that's a clean animal, and we have a sheep that is a clean animal. Is that I can't even remember in regards of mammals. Mammals are like bearing children, right? So, it's something one can look up, of course. But it would be interesting in regards of clean and unclean animal. Now, of course, a dolphin, that would be considered a mammal, right? That's actually an unclean animal. You're not allowed to eat that. But a cow and a sheep, you're allowed to eat that. So anyway, yeah. I think there's no. Well, I'm getting pretty tired apparently. Anyway, it's going to be nice with some broccoli. Just need to heat it up, and I had some spinach. So very close to actually burn it off. But anyway, people don't realize how much they actually promote this bullshit, and when you begin to get out of this deception, you realize how many people actually promote it because you are aware of it. You're now aware of this, and you pick it up like this. Beforehand it was like just normal, right? Because that's what everybody believes, and you believe it to be true and all that. So you don't really see how much is actually promoted, and it's promoted everywhere. This pagan bullshit religion is promoted everywhere. And in the television, in schools, in society, in the family, and so forward, this is the norm. This is incredible. In Denmark, we have 82% of the Danish people believing in evolution. I remember, I guess it must be some years ago and all that, and that was actually a Danish, I guess, a professor or whatever, on a university or whatever, and he talked about, some of this and how stupid it was and all that. And I wrote him, hey, I might not know everything, but I'll defend I'll defend creationism as if you want me, I might. It might, you might end up standing and being, what do you call it, looking silly. But as long as you're standing for the truth, right? You can't do anything wrong, right? As long as you do your best, it's a lot better than to promote this pagan, even if you get something wrong and all that, at least that you're trying the best that you can do, and you're at least a lot closer to the truth than an evolutionist, So whatever the case, you can't lose, It's just, even if it looks like you're losing, you're winning, And might just be one that listens and have ears to hear, that does his own research on it. So you can at least, give whatever you have of argument that might, who knows, open the eyes of someone that might seem, well, actually this sounds pretty interesting. Let me do my own stuff. For example, I didn't know that there was month and month of material in regards of creationism. I never saw anything. I think I was 30 years old before I saw my first creationism. I had never heard about it, pretty much. I didn't really, I think it was around 30 years, like 30 years without ever seeing any material about it. And then I found out there's like months and months and months of material. Now I haven't, I don't know how much, but that's huge amount. This is a big thing. And I'm like, I never ever heard anything about it in the television. Now, of course, there has been something a little in the television about this. After I began to see in regards to creationism and all that. But that's, as far as I know, that's very little. I had never heard about it, that in 30 years, I had never heard about creationism and the other side. I had only been taught evolution. Yeah, bullshit. So it's nice to see in regards to the internet that we now have the capacity of getting this information. Because when people don't know that the information is out there, of course they don't, But if they know the information is out there, they might actually check it out. And of course I remember I saw the first video that was from Kent Hovind, and it was called 100 Reasons Why Evolution is Stupid. And I remember thinking, that's stupid, that's stupid, But it wasn't actually that stupid, actually. It was actually pretty clever, Now, of course, I'm not, there's some of his views that I'm not in total agreement with, of course. But, when you have 100 reasons why evolution is stupid, that's a good amount of, and he might be wrong on a couple of the points and all that, but overall you have a good amount of reasons why evolution is stupid. And yeah. So he's great in regards of, he does a great material out there with him, and we have many others out there standing for creationism. So yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's wow, it's pretty cold, but I'm like, it's nice with a little cold, feeling a little hot anyway. So, but it's still, anyway. But anyway, a lot of people just don't realize how much they themselves are promoting, religious views, and then when when people realize that you have Christian viewpoints, then now you're religious, well, but they're promoting that bullshit all the time. It's like a double standard, You are not allowed to talk about what you believe in regards to things and all that, but we are allowed to talk about us because we have so-called science and bullshit, it's just... Anyway, so you are rebuked by, so yeah, that's... So yeah, anyway, so it's only their view that is allowed, so it's just incredible. Anyway, I just got censored from all my information got censored from the other place in regards of meat. Apparently it didn't help. I thought I would help. A lot of people believe that you get that you get fat by eating sugar. And so I thought to make a video about that, right? And wow. That really stirred people up for sure, It's just incredible. It's very easy to figure out, if you don't have any, health problems and all that. Well, just do a juice fast or eat, fruit and vegetables. I maybe would not, you have to be careful of the sugar and all that. But the thing is, you lose weight. You can, if you only eat fruit, you can eat as much fruit as you want, and you will lose weight. Just look at the people eating fruits. Do they look like fat people? No, they look the exact opposite. The longer you're on it, the more skinny you become, like skin and bones. And it doesn't matter how much they eat, they lose weight. So, and they are eating a lot of sugar. They are getting a huge amount of sugar. And yet they are losing weight. you have to have fat and sugar to take on, because then the body uses the sugar and it puts on the fat on the body. It just makes pretty good sense. But apparently, people don't want to whatever. I don't know. It's just whatever. So I ended getting all of the things censored on that side and all that. I didn't get banned, but when people begin to censor things, I don't really. I quickly finding out that might not be the place for me. There was one single person over the time where it was, in these hours where it was there, that actually, got this, got the idea of it. So that's nice. So at least one, stood up and thought it was, So the rest pretty much was on my case in some sense. But anyway, and of course, I just responded back, of course, with directness as well, anyway, so it all got deleted, and I'm like, if people don't want truth, whatever. Interesting. So that's pretty much it. Well. So again, all that information down the drain. And again, that's one of the reasons why I really, it's just much easier to just, write on your own Facebook site, because at least no one can delete that. But, at least, of course, the information gets out to some people and they check it, and who knows, maybe they end up thinking about things. I don't know. But yeah, sad to see it gets lost. Again, a lot of people believe that if you eat sugar, you get fat. But that's not true. If you only eat sugar, you don't get fat. And this has actually also been proven by other fruitarians. Some of the videos where they totally, they just down sugar, just sugar, and they just, pour down sugar in themselves, refined sugar. And they are thin as, anyway. And I wouldn't suggest doing it, you're just putting a huge amount of, and again, fungus loves sugar. So you're just feeding, whatever. Yeah, anyway, you have to take care anyway. But yeah, this idea that you get fat by eating sugar, and then someone, saying, he had a sister apparently that had diabetes, and so it was not just sugar, or no, he said, and she was apparently fat, and because of the sugar and all that. But then he said what she was eating and all that, and I'm like, okay, how much fat is in that? So again, you have the component of sugar and fat together. There we go. Anyway, I can't remember, desserts things, what is it called, and that's usually, fat in those. I can't remember what. And candy as well is, fat in those is, usually fat in candy as well. And you have the sugar and you have the fat. Great combination to take weight on, So whatever. So he said, it must be the sugar and all that. No, it's the combination. It's the combination. Again, when you get all this fast energy of sugar into you, the body uses that. And when the body uses that and have sugar, and fat comes around, it's like, hey, that's fat. I don't need it. Let's get it on the body. So all these things in regards of where people say you need to get into this ketones mode and all that. It's nonsense, because I've never lost as much weight as I did when I juice fasted. And I was drinking sugary thing, a lot of juices, and I drank liter after liter after liter of juice, fresh pressed juice, and I was losing kilo like I was melting 1.6 kilograms a day, I was losing. So anyway, now of course when you get closer to, when you have been on it, it begins to go down like this, So you have where it's really, really losing a lot of weight, and then it begins to slowly go down and down and down, because, anyway, so, but, you can really lose a lot of fat on, like, in 10 days, that would be 16 kilograms. That's a huge amount, Anyway, and you still have the energy because, there's a lot of sugar in it. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, not getting fat, you can, if you do the same thing that I did and just drink a lot of juice, you will lose weight. You will not take on weight, You will lose the fat. And again, when people don't believe you and all that, it's like, hey, try it out, Or look on some of these fruitarians on YouTube or whatever, It shouldn't be that difficult. But they just want to tell me I'm a liar, right? And yet we have all these videos where people, hey, look at this, this guy is dying and all that, and he's like skin and bones, and he's eating fruit, and and he's just getting slimmer and slimmer, and they will say and they're, oh no, but I'm lying. Okay, I'm lying. Okay, yeah. They want evidence for that sugar doesn't make you fat, and you have to, go out and look for yourself. Is that so? Apparently, it's really hard for people, I guess it must be some demonic thing going on in regards to that. I don't know. But incredible. Looks pretty good, Looks green. Broccoli, yeah. At least have something, Chips, there we go. So we have some broccoli. Oh, we need some salt as well. Salt is always good to have some salt. So sadly I only have the big salt, but whatever, It's better than nothing, I could of course crush it. I do have that's, I think, is more than enough salt, for sure. Anyway, I actually found out that I had more salt than I thought of natural salt. The only problem is it's like the big salt. This is actually from Israel. This is from the Dead Sea, actually. I've been out there twice, I think both trips no. I can't, both trips. I think, what is it like? Yeah, both trips. I think, I'm not sure. Can't remember. I think, it must have been, not sure. Maybe it was. It's really hard, again, the longer time flies and all that, you forget what, you forget the details, so. Anyway, I guess that's all. I shouldn't make all these videos anyway, because, I'm just speaking, and, I should make some concentrated thing and keep on and make some good stuff instead of just speaking. I guess I'm just practicing, just practicing to, to talk. Whatever. Yeah. So I'm still making on my video, also my video player and all that. And of course I need to fix on that and all that. But of course, when you are tired, it becomes a little harder to... but I'm still thinking in regards of what to put in the video player. Now there's also a video player and an MP3 player. And I still don't know which one to use. And the problem also is that they use a main folder, and apparently I can't put that main, I can't make both programs use the same folder, which is very sad because some of the files are the same and yet they are different from program to program, which the program uses. But the problem is, if I have two different folders, I will have to have the files twice on some occasions if one. So that's sad. Anyway, I should go now and just do whatever and have some more food and I'll have broccoli and yeah, I have enough to look into. And in regards to the antifungals, I ordered things from England now. So that was nice. The guy that I bought it from in Denmark had gotten a ticket, or what is it was called, and by the Food Administration, bullshit organization, mafia organization. And so I found out I could actually order it from England. So I ordered it from England. I actually think it might actually be cheaper actually ordering it from England, compared to when I got it in Denmark. But it was still pretty cheap in Denmark. I'm not entirely sure, but it seemed like actually it was cheaper in England. Now, of course, they need to, fix it from England to Denmark. And I don't know if there's any toll on that, because England has, as I understand it, gone out of the EU. Or I don't know what is going on with that. But that was something in regards to that. The Roman European Union. That's nearly done in regards to the Glow, essential oil. I found another thing in regards of being antifungal that is said to be very effective against Candida albicans. So I need to get out and find some essential oils and figure out if you can actually take them internally. I can't remember what it's called. When you take it internally, that's a special word if it can be used outside or inside. At least Glowbot seems to be pretty, no problem there. I haven't died of it, so that doesn't seem to be a problem with the clove oil. Now, of course, you can eat the cloves as well, so the oil should be fine, right? But it's there's not that much left. It's well, of course, it's pretty powerful, so. So I have to look at some of the other, oils that have antifungal, things, so I can take that with, and rotate things a little here and a little there and so forward. I really tried a lot of antifungals, these last couple of, and it's so expensive, a lot of it. Yeah. So getting some more antifungals, some essential oils, black seeds should be very powerful as well. But again, I have to figure out if the things can be taken internally, because that's what is it called when I can't remember, but yeah. And so that's great. Anyway, I should go, Also, still have this trick in regards of if you have itching in the ears to pour olive oil into the ears, but don't do too much of that, because if you do too much and do it too long in regards, it will block. I did a huge amount when I heard about it. It's like, hey, let's try it out, and I just lay there and put the olive oil and more olive oil and more olive and laying there and all that. Don't do that too long, because then it will block. Of course, it will open again, but it did take some time before it actually opened up again, both of the ears. If you just do it like, not too much and all that, it doesn't block your ear. So you can still get the olive oil inside the ear and just, and then after laying a little with it, you just go up and then it will pour out of the ear and all that, and yeah, and you can, for example, rub it down here, whatever, I don't know, but anyway, it will pour out of your ears, and you can just whatever, fix it whatever on the skin. It is said to be antifungal as well, so, and it's not too harsh, olive oil. Personally, I prefer olive oil over coconut oil, so. But in regards of using in regards to these things, so yeah, going forward, still need to have my response from my so-called doctor, or whatever you want to call it, in regards of diflucan, and then the berberine, I guess, will come in a few days or maybe a week or something like that. And I'll be ready to take another hit, with the berberine and the diflucan, and I also have some nice statin. Not that I think it's totally needed overall, but I guess it couldn't couldn't hurt having it. So, and then of course other antifungals and the diet as well, and hopefully it will continue to go in the right direction. Some people say it can take up to, what it was like, some say 6 months before they really get over it and all that. So it is a longer thing, apparently. It's not, even the diflucan, even if I took nearly 4 weeks of diflucan, it's still there, yet it's absolutely better, My head, it's so much better now than it was when I began to, go on board on this. It's so nice that my head is, I can have beard again, I couldn't go 15 days without needing to cut it off because it had become so terrible. And yet it was still there after cutting the beard, but it was, the beard absolutely did not help on the itching. And also the hair, I had to take it off. So I took it off like every, I tried to get to around 15 days, and in regards to the full moon and the new moon and so forward, keeping that 14, 15 days every time. And the last part was just really, it was really so yeah. So now I can actually, I've had this in a good amount of time, and it's back to normal, nearly at least. I still have some itching here and there and so forward, nose, eyelids, and some here and there, but it's so much less. And of course, in regards of the rest of the body and all that, but it's just so much lower than before. It's something I can, live with compared to, it was much, much, much better. So if I could take 4 more weeks of diflucan and put in some other natural antifungals as well, and berberine works synergistically with, works together with diflucan. So, and that's 2 powerful antifungals. And if I could even get other antifungals that could help punch this monster from different angles, that would be, top dollar. So, at least it seems like I'm on the right direction, and that's yeah. I hope it will go the right direction. Well, it has gone the right direction, so I hope it will go even further in the right direction. That would be awesome. If I could totally get rid of this, it would be awesome. And then, of course, then I can fix my diet. The thing is, I'm nearly 40 years, I'm not even sure how old I am. Now, of course, I usually don't, birthdays and all that, as I understand, is pagan anyway. So, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm 36. I think. But anyway, so I'm going for 40, and I've been having issues like over half of my life, and so trying to figure out what was wrong here and there, and it would be nice to actually have an ending on that, and to get it under control. That would be nice. Would be nice. Anyway, we'll have to see. I'm not giving up, that's for sure. I'm not giving up, and I'll keep on the battle, right? And I found some good information here and there, and it's really getting together in regards of the pulling me hopefully in the right direction. And yeah, I would agree in regards of the fungus guy, that in regards of having a fungus diet is probably the best thing to do in regards of having a something that also battles as a natural diet, so you can keep these things at bay. So, and yeah, so that's nice. That's very nice. So the nice stats, and I think, came with the postman today, but I wasn't home at the exact point that he came, typical. I was just out for an hour, maybe, or less, maybe. But around an hour, I think. And of course, he came at the time that I was out. So anyway, so I should have the nystatin, and then hopefully the berberine, and I found some other antifungals as well, which I also got from the same place. I found some grapeseed extract that's antifungal as well, and I'm like, okay, let's. I have used grapeseed extract before, but let's get that on the wagon as well. Let's continue with whatever, different rotations and all that, and knock it out right on different ways. But anyway, so I found that, and I was like, okay, let's get that with it as well. It's like a grapeseed pill, capsules or whatever. You just swallow them like the berberine. Have some good attack remedies to kill it. Just the berberine alone, I think, is it's pretty powerful. So getting all these remedies together, I think that should be. I wonder how, if my white coat gives me more diflucan, I wonder how the reaction will be first when I take it again, because it's like a month since I took the last dose, and I would think that there would probably be a lot of spores around the body after you kill off all the fungi. As I understand it, they would release spores, and those babies might have, who knows, began to grow at that. I don't know. There's a lot of things that's like, doesn't really know. I can, theorize about it that might be the case and all that. And I'm not sure if the diflucan actually destroys spores or whatever and all that. So, yeah, whatever. But again, little by little, as it stands up for now, it's going in the right direction. Absolutely. But it took a lot of time, and I know if I eat the wrong things, it's back to, and so I'm absolutely not going to eat any sugary thing, that's for sure. So I just wonder, like 4 weeks on this, it's a long time, and they talk about like 2 to 8 weeks of diflucan to get things sorted out, and but I have been on a low sugar diet, and I'm not at the point of of the last bit of because they seem to look at people in regards to fungus issue when they are at the tip of nearly dying, right? If they are diagnosed with cancer or HIV and all that. So I thought 4 weeks, that should be a good amount, right, to actually kill off this. But apparently it takes more time to kill it off. So it'll be interesting to see how our second trip would second hard approach would seem. How much it would actually get it back. Because destroy, push it back. Because it would be totally wonderful if it's just totally pushed it totally back. Where I was just feeding. That would be wonderful. But anyway, so I'm not sure if 4 weeks will do it. We'll have to see. I'll have to try it out. And again, getting some other antifungals and all. And so as I'm getting ready to give it another punch, and yeah. So I guess it was okay to just evaluate the situation and all that, but I think I need to have another punch, against it. Another big punch. So I'm still, somewhat afraid that it might go in the wrong direction. Again, I'm not sure which direction it goes at the moment, because, it wouldn't be, if it just goes the right direction, just a little, day by day, that would be okay for me, as long as it doesn't grow, in the wrong direction and actually begins to grow in the body. But I just don't know if it's going this way or that way in regards of, is it actually growing in my body or is it actually dying off, little by little, at the moment. So, but yeah, well, at least it's far from as it was, and that's good. So yeah, again, that's looking forward to giving it another punch. And I need to ask some people in regards of other remedies, if they can, give their view on. I've already tried a huge amount of different remedies, but but there's some that I absolutely haven't tried yet. So there's like a website where the foremost. Maybe I should look into those, and all of them as well, and yeah. The more anger. Now, of course, in regards to the diflucan, I know the first 4 days when I was on diflucan, that was just utterly horrible. That I had really awakened the beast at that point. The question is how I will react if I get the diflucan again in regards to the first couple of days. So, of course, the first couple of days I'll start slow, in regards of not taking other antifungals and see how I react in regards to the diflucan again. And when that has, if there's anything in regards to that, then when the worst part is over, I'll begin to incorporate the rest of the, some of the other antifungals. But I think it's a good, a wise choice to just, start on one thing and then, fix the other things in, a little after that. Because I might get into a rough trip the first day or two. I would think that would be a possibility if the fungus finds out, there's, if the fungus might have had a break in regards of, not, of course I have attacked it with other things and all that. So I don't know how it will be, but, after so much time, a month, and then take that and see how it goes, and then incorporate, more antifungals as we go, and hope, make a mass murder in the body in regards to fungus, and of course incorporate the berberine. That would probably be number 2 in regards of incorporating the berberine, because again the berberine works synergistically with the diflucan, so want that in. And so that would be 2 powerful remedies to kill off fungi by that, and see what else I can take little by little, and not go totally overboard. So I get to the. I remember like when I last time did the diflucan, after the 4 days and the 5th day where I got better, where I actually came out of the absolute worst part of the time where I was. But I remember then trying some other antifungals and then beginning to go into this bad mode again, So I don't know if I was killing too much or what, or it just, you came out of it, right? It began to go down, and then I did some other antifungals, and then it began to seemingly go up again into this, period of... but it was just a minor bump in some sense, as I remember it as, some time ago, of course. But I wonder what I took in regards to that. Probably some resveratrol or something like that. I think I had that at that point. I'm not sure. I ordered different things from bulk powders in regards of and antifungals and cinnamon and all that. So yeah. Wow, I really get to try a lot of antifungal things, I'm getting, yeah, so, we'll give it another hit, and if it goes as positive as the last thing, and takes it even further down, it will be great, At least it seems like the dots have stopped now, again, the dots that I have on my arms and all that, I didn't have them before. Well, I guess on the arms they came on two different. When it did first, I felt like spreading that, but that was before the explosion and all that, where I felt it like it went out in my arms, from the breast out in my arms and so forward. But that was before the explosion, so the explosion just totally went haywire, and I got huge amount of dots, different places that, and I could just see them pop up, and from day to day, it's like, so that was, with the itch and dots, I would think that it might be mycotoxin damage. I'm not entirely sure, but it wants the fungi babies to survive, right? So how would they survive? Well, you put out a lot of toxins to make it difficult for the immune system to. Oh yeah, by the way, in regards to the immune system, that's something I probably also should look into in regards of boosting the immune system as well. That might be a good thing as well. Yeah, everything costs money, that's a problem. I wonder how much money I actually have put into this from, these last 19 years. Well, it is what it is. Anyway, have a good one. I'll stop now. I'll have some food. Some broccoli. Yeah. Anyway, may Yehovah be with you, and Yeshua be a most precious pearl, and the spirit of truth be in us all. Amen. Have a good one. Shalom.